Hello everyone. I wanted to take a moment to talk about the new labeling options we have in Rover 1.1.2. At this particular extent, I have my removal points, these orange triangles. And in prior versions of Rover, you could have the labels turned on or off, and it didn't matter what extent you were at. So if you were zoomed very far out, then you would just see a wall of text, a whole bunch of labels stacked on top of each other. Well, now labeling can be enabled so that it'll turn on and then stay on as you get closer. Now you can change the options for how these are set up by going into the labeling menu, and now on the removal layer here you can see that I have these set to be visible whenever I'm at 3 or lower extents. So if I zoom in on my map here, we can see that the labeling automatically came on. And if I zoom in again, it'll come on, it'll stay on because it's going to be on at this level and below. I can change those options. For example, if I want it to only be in the 2 closest zoom levels, I can make that option. And you can see that the removal point labeling went away, and these other ones have to do with the brush record. So let's just turn off the brush layer. So each layer has its own independent set of label zoom levels it will support. I can also move this back. Now it'll come on when I'm at 4 extents or higher. So that's one option that's available to the users. We've gone ahead for PHI and set everything within 3 or closer. But what if you wanted to be able to control it while you're working with the program? You don't want to necessarily have to get into the label menu. Well, we've made changes to the right-click context over here, where we have the option to just always have the labels on no matter what. And so that's how Rover used to behave, and no matter what extent I go in or come out, it'll always stack them. I can also shut them off in all cases, so that way they'll never come on, no matter how close I zoom into the map. So these right-click options are more or less just ad hoc overrides to the default label options. One other option that you'll see here is that I can also make it come on here and closer. So if I click on here and closer, you can see that the labels show up, and then as I zoom in, the labels will stick. And if I zoom out one, they're still going to be there. And if I zoom out again, they'll shut off. So what we've done is we've made it so that you have the option to adjust that the visibility level on the fly based on your current extent. You can just right click on the menu and say on here and closer, and it will turn on the labels, and as you zoom in they'll stick, as you zoom out they'll turn off. So the idea here is as you zoom out to the highest extent, the labeling will be a little bit smarter. You won't have to wait for Rover to render all those labels, which you won't be able to read anyhow. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. Thanks for your time.